Welcome to another Anatomy and Physiology 2 Bio 265 video in a nutshell.
A red blood cell is like an empty bag that's filled with hemoglobin, and in every red blood cell there are over 600 million hemoglobin molecules, and every one of those molecules can handle 4 oxygens. Now when a red blood cell ages or becomes senescent at about 120 days, it loses its elasticity and it needs to be broken down by the body and then replaced. And the hemoglobin molecules inside also need to be recycled. So heme refers to blood, and globin or globulin refers to protein. So the hemoglobin can be broken down into these two parts. Now the heme portion, it's toxic if it's left in the system, and so it needs to be excreted. Now the globin portion, like all proteins, it's made of individual amino acids, so it can be broken down into those individual amino acids and then reused. Now a red blood cell that needs to be recycled is going to be eaten by a macrophage. The macrophage is going to split the heme and the globin portion. It's going to recycle the protein, and then it's going to pull the iron portion from off of the heme. The iron can then be carried to the bone marrow on a transport protein called transferrin, and it can be reused. The remaining portion of the heme is going to be converted into biliverdin, because verde in Spanish means green color. So biliverdin is then converted into unconjugated bilirubin, and that's going to be placed into the bloodstream. We've been in the tissues up until now. So the unconjugated bilirubin is transported to the liver on the blood protein albumin. And the liver is going to be responsible to break it down even further. However, if the liver is damaged or not functional for some reason, then the unconjugated bilirubin, it can't be pulled from circulation, just stays in the bloodstream and it builds up in the tissue in the body. And as mentioned before, this buildup, it's toxic and it can be fatal. This unconjugated bilirubin, it has a yellow color, and this condition we call jaundice. If, however, the liver is functioning normally, it's going to pull the unconjugated bilirubin from the blood, it's going to add a glucuronic acid onto it, and this glucuronic acid is going to make it more water soluble. And we now call it conjugated bilirubin. Conjugated bilirubin, it's an ingredient that's used in the making of bile. And that bile, it's going to be secreted into the small intestine by the liver, and it's going to help to digest fats. So as the conjugated bilirubin that's now in the bile passes through the digestive tract, it's going to be further broken down, and it can be excreted in two ways. If it remains in the intestine, it's going to help give feces their brown color, called stercobilin, and if it's reabsorbed into the bloodstream, then it's going to be excreted by the kidneys in urine, and it's called urobilin. Thank you, and good luck with your studies.